but we're really coming alive and getting stirred up because we care about this topic and we care about you guys and your relationships.
You guys are tough. You can handle it.
In my last video on Paul and Morgan, I got a hell of a lot of comments saying how Morgan always looks like she's drunk or high, and now I just, like, can't unsee that. And I think it's getting worse. Like, Morgan, are you okay? Just blink twice if you need help. Anyway, this is kind of like an extra video this week, but I woke up this morning to find that Paul and Morgan have uploaded another video. A new one, another intense one, and this is what they're covering.
Today's video, 4 dating lies culture is shoving down our throats.
So rude.
It is rude and they're doing it. Do you think it's intentional or unintentional?
Absolutely intentional.
Woo!
You can tell they really enjoy crapping on anyone that just, like, isn't them, can't you?
We're not trying to throw shade at culture, but we are.
Yes, we are.
See? So I know this is kind of like an extra video, and I don't want to bombard you with videos. I'm just gonna get introspective for a minute before we jump into the video. If you aren't bothered by any of this stuff and you don't care, just skip to this part to see more Paul and Morgan cringe. Yeah, I don't know, I've been kind of working really hard recently and like kind of throwing myself into work, and I'm losing subscribers, and it's not a lot, it's like a handful, like here and there. But it's happening, and so this is kind of like me genuinely asking for feedback from you guys. Like, am I just like not covering the topics you want? Is there like too much variation for you? Like, what's happening? And like, often I tend to like make videos and stuff, and I try and space them out a bit, and I schedule them and stuff. But then by the time they're out, someone else has already done them, so like half my comments end up being, oh, Mr. Atheist did this first, oh, so-and-so did this first, and yeah, but like, I don't know if it's good to do kind of like more videos like this as I see them and just kind of like get them out on the day, or is it better to space them out and wait and risk other people doing them first and then being told I'm like copying them or whatever? Like, oh god, it's happened so many times recently. Like, the video I did on like the transformed wife's tweets, like, I thought that was a great one. I thought it was really fun, and there's my air freshener. And then, like, literally everyone was like, oh, Mr. Atheist did this the other week. And I'm like, I love him, but I didn't see the video, and I didn't know, and anyway. God, I feel like all I'm doing is whining. I'm a terrible person. The point is, like, yeah, it's kind of disheartening to put in a bunch of work and then, like, not know why it's not working out. Because, like, my comments are up, my views are the same, which is probably a bad thing. And generally, the feedback from people is good, so I don't know why I'm losing these, like, handfuls of subscribers every day. Like, is it something I've done wrong and I don't know about? Am I, like, screwing something up and I don't know about it? Am I just being a bit boring? Like, I genuinely want some feedback, and, yeah, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Because, I don't know, am I just overthinking? I'm a worrier. I always worry. I'm such a worry. Anyway, let's, lighten the mood, and let's have a little cringe at Paul and Morgan, shall we?
We are wanting to bring some things to light so that the truth will ultimately at least pierce the darkness. The number one dating lie that culture is pushing on us is there are no mistakes, only experiences. They love to use the word experiences.
Oh, no. What a shame. People are encouraging you to try and be optimistic about the bad stuff. Oh no. Culture's trying to get you to learn when things go wrong instead of just feel guilty and panicked. How awful. Oh no, it's almost like there's no one right way for everyone to live. Disgusting, terrible, such a shame. Ugh.
You can't mess up. You just will have an experience and you'll grow from it.
Yeah, here's the thing. They aren't mutually exclusive. And I think the important distinction that neither Paul or Morgan seem to get is that what's actually happening is we're shifting from a culture where before, what would happen is people would make mistakes when it came to relationships, and then they'd be shamed for it. They'd be made to feel guilty. Their reputation would be ruined. They would feel like their life was over. Now we see someone, and if they make mistakes in a relationship or whatever, we understand that it's not life ending. It's not this terrible thing. It is something we can learn from, and it's not something to be ashamed about because it happens to everyone. even when the bad stuff happens, there's still some good that come out of it. And that's the shift that's happened. It's not that we're saying people can't mess up anymore. It's that we're saying it's okay when they do mess up, because we can fix it, we can grow, we can become better people from it. And let's be honest, no good really comes out of just shaming people when they screw up, does it? What is the benefit, really?
And guys, we're not trying to be overbearing here. We're not trying to be judgmental.
You can just tell Morgan wants to jump in again with another.
Yes, we are. It's okay to set boundaries, set rules, because rules are good, guys. Everyone wants to say, rules? Why would you have rules in a relationship? Rules are for school or for blah, blah, whatever.
Or don't put restrictions on the fun. It's only dating. It's only dating.
You know, I don't think anyone actually really says don't have rules. It's more of a, like, set your own rules kind of thing, isn't it? Understand your own boundaries, understand what you as an individual are comfortable with and what you're not, and just don't be afraid to communicate that stuff with your partner. And if you and whoever you're dating, you know, you discuss it and you decide, yeah, I just want this to be all casual, I don't want anything serious, if that's what works for you, absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. Not everyone has to live by the same rules and standards that you do. Just because something isn't being done your way, following your rules, doesn't make it a mistake.
We're not making this stuff up. We're not trying to promote purity culture or whatever all these people are suddenly saying, oh, avoid purity culture.
Mock it all you want, but that is still what you're doing. Literally.
We want biblical, godly, God-honoring culture. That's our hearts for you guys. That's our hearts for us. It was our desire when we were dating.
Do they not see, like, the irony in what they're saying? Is it irony? Probably not irony. I don't know, but they not see what they're saying here. Like, they did what worked for them, and look at them now. They're happy. It worked out. It's amazing. But that's not to say the same kind of set of rules and circumstances that they did are going to work for everyone. They figured out what made them happy, and they did it, and now they're happy. And that's what everyone should be doing. It's not doing the things that they did. It's figuring out what makes you as an individual happy.
Number 2, dating lie. This one goes right along with number 1. You have to be physically intimate with them to really know if they're the one. And that often goes as far as to say you have to be sexually intimate with them.
I'm sorry, but Morgan can't even hear the word sex without pulling faces like this. And if she's at this stage where she's that immature, I'm not sure she's in a position to be giving anyone relationship or dating advice. Grow up. But again, to like talk about the point that they're talking about, it's about finding your own standards and values and figuring things out for yourself. To some people, the physical side of a relationship is very important, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you value, if that's what you're interested in, if that's what you want, absolutely fine. If it's not, also absolutely fine. Some people want to know if they have chemistry with their partner, if it's fun, if it feels comfortable and right. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things. It's not something we should be shaming people for.
To have sex with them to know if you're sexually compatible.
They love those words, sexually compatible.
Yeah, that just makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually, that does make sense. And you might know that if you had a little more worldly experience, you know, outside of your little bubble. But apparently you're just not open to listening to anyone else who isn't you.
And it makes sense if you think that sex is only physical.
I mean, yeah, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. There's no one set of rules here. I know I keep saying it, but it depends on the people involved. Stop telling people there's only one right way to do something that is a perfectly natural part of human life. Actually, no, just a perfectly natural part of animal life. Sex is something that every animal does. There's no one right way to do it. I mean, are you trying to tell me that these guys have a spiritual connection that's been blessed by God?
You literally have the rest of your life to practice and get better. So why even worry about it? Why have sex with someone, then realize, oh, we're not going to get married. Then you carry this baggage, having had sex with maybe even multiple people, into your actual marriage with the person that you were meant to be with.
Yeah, not everyone wants to get married, and I think they're kind of forgetting this. Not everyone cares about their partner's past and sexual history. As long as they were being safe and consensual, it doesn't really matter to a lot of people. I mean, not everyone. Again, it's about finding the right partner and so on. I don't see anything in my past as baggage. I see it as a part of making me the person I am today, and I don't have any regrets. I'm not ashamed of anything. And even for the people who might like to get married one day, marriage doesn't have to be the ultimate goal in life. It's not like everything you do in life has to be with marriage in mind. Not everything you do in life has to be leading up to marriage as like the ultimate one thing we should be aiming for. It's okay to want different things and value different things. Sometimes you just want to enjoy yourself in the moment, and that's okay too, and no one should be shamed for that. As long as you're aware of your boundaries, your partner's boundaries, and you're aware of what makes each of you comfortable and happy, it's all okay. Seriously.
Now, number 3. You must date for a long time before you can know that they're the one.
Long. 5 years later. Morgan, I'm still not sure if you're the one for me.
Sure. Maybe we should move in together, then we'll know.
I don't know why this is so shocking. People work on different timelines, and that is okay. Another benefit to waiting before you make a massive commitment to someone is that everyone grows and changes at different rates and different paces, and at different stages in their life. We can be very different people. Maybe you want to wait until you're both in a certain place and see what kind of people you are before you make a big commitment to someone for the rest of your life. That's okay. That's not something to be shamed for. There are never any guarantees, which is why you just have to figure out what works for you and your life. You can be with someone for 10 years, marry them, and end up divorced a year later. You can be with someone for 3 months, marry them, and be together 30 years later. There's no guarantees. There's no timeline you have to stick to and say, okay, do this at this time, and this after this time, and this. You don't have to do any of that. There's no pressure. And if anyone's shaming you for not sticking to a certain schedule, screw them. I think the important thing to remember is to take your time and don't feel like you're being rushed into anything. If there's pressures around you from society or religion or your family or whatever, don't let them rush you. Go at your own pace. You are in control of your life and you're the one deciding what you do when, or at least you should be.
Guys, the purpose of dating is to find one you can marry.
Or the purpose of dating can be to spend time with awesome people, to have fun, to get to know someone new, to discover something new about yourself. There are many reasons to date, and it doesn't always have to be with marriage in mind.
So if you start dating someone when you're 14, you're going to be dating them for a long time, maybe 10 years.
Unless you're one of those from like the Bible times that is ready to get married at 15. But we're not saying that. You do not quote us. I'm saying to get married at 15.
No.
Have a seat right on that stool, please.
Oh, come on, Paul. You know people like me make these video responses to you. Why are you just handing me this stuff? It's like you see this little like hole that you start to dig in the ground and you're like, I'm just going to go buy a bulldozer. And you just dig yourself further in. Why do you do this?
There are things that you want to know about the person. There is a process of getting to know them, but it doesn't need to take years and years.
The way that we've been dating this day and age is we just date to have fun. We're not actually asking the right questions. We ask these very important questions that you need to be asking when you are dating someone so that you can very quickly find out, okay, this person, our beliefs, our morals do not line up. We're not going to date. Or, oh, this person's awesome. Let's date and let's get married.
But like, what about the benefits of dating someone a bit different to you? You know, where you have these like different values and it's a great chance to kind of like push yourself and challenge yourself, see things from a new perspective, learn something new, have new experiences. Sometimes you grow by giving someone a chance that like you normally wouldn't or that you would have initially dismissed. I mean, if I lived my life by Paul and Morgan's standards, then I would have probably dismissed Dan like as soon as we met because he wanted kids and I didn't. No, over time our perspectives on that issue lined up and it was never an issue. We grew and matured with each other and we both decided, probably not on the kids front. And that's okay. That wouldn't have happened if I just like dismissed him straight away like Paul and Morgan wanted me to do. That said, once those kind of values and stuff aligned, I'm glad we didn't just like rush into getting married straight away I'm glad we waited because I did end up breaking up with him. Things did end up changing and things weren't working like they were. So I'm glad that I never felt rushed or pushed into doing anything that other people would have probably expected me to do because in the end, it all worked out. And I am very happy I had those 4 years with Dan. It made me a better person, a stronger person. I still like love him to bits as a person. It's just as a relationship, we don't work. And I think it's better that we had that time together. We both kind of became better people because of it. And now we have the opportunity to move on with our lives and be happy by ourselves or find other people or whatever. It's better that we had that opportunity and broke up than to have never had the opportunity, or to have had the opportunity and then be stuck in an unhappy marriage.
Guys, even the Christian world, even believers claim it takes at least a year, it takes at least 3 years to get to know a person. What? No, it does not. I'm sorry.
You can get to know somebody pretty quickly.
I can't help but think this is a pretty naive and immature view on Morgan's part. Actually, a lot of her views are very immature. I mean, oh god, how old is this girl? Because she does act like she's 17, and I find it very bizarre that she's here giving marriage advice.
To really know if they're the one, and that often goes as far as to say you.
But that's probably just like me in my like old womanly grumpy person state saying that. I know, I look 17 as well, don't judge me. Fully aware of that. Thing is, people grow and change all the time, and it does take time to get to know someone. If you think you know someone completely in just 4 months, then you are probably definitely missing something. That said, I'm not saying you can't connect with people quickly, and I'm not saying you can't have an idea about if things are going to work out with someone from an early stage. I'm just saying, again, you have to go at your own pace. Don't let these two shame you into thinking you have to rush something and know things immediately if you're not there yet. If after 4 months you're still undecided about someone but you enjoy spending time with them, there's no rush. You don't have to make a decision there and then. Go at your own pace.
We realize there's exceptions. We realize that there is unusual circumstances, people living in faraway places and whatnot. But we're saying as a norm, why date for 3 years when you know after 6 months?
Well, again, I think me and Dan are a perfect example of this. After 6 months, everything was kind of perfect and amazing, and I thought I knew I wanted to marry him. After 4 years, I knew I didn't. I am so thankful and grateful and happy that we only dated and didn't get married, because that would be way messier to deal with now than just a breakup.
And if you say, oh, but I'm not in the right place in life and this and this and this still needs to happen, why were you dating in the first place?
Because again, people have different reasons for dating, and that's okay. And different things happen in people's lives. It's not just like a linear thing. Maybe when you start dating someone, you are in a position to say, okay, well, I'm ready to settle down and be married. But then something happens in your career or your family or your life or whatever, and you're not in that place anymore. These things happen. Things change, and that's okay.
All right, number 4, this one could be a little controversial because I see both sides of this. Number 4, you have to date around, you have to date a lot of different people before you settle on the one. We're saying, yeah, it's okay to date. I dated a lot of different girls before I landed on Morgan, and I feel okay about that. I feel peace. I felt the Lord even blessing that.
But they lasted 1, 2, maybe 3 days.
I wasn't prolonging them. I wasn't doing intimate physical things with them. I was keeping it pure.
Oh, Paul, you player, you. No, but once again, this is kind of like a typical example of Paul and Morgan being like, follow the Bible exactly, unless it says to do something that we've already done, in which case that's not so bad and you can get away with it. They have the same perspective about their tattoos. The Bible says they're a sin. Paul and Morgan have them anyway, because it's just tattoos, they're not that bad, whatever.
I do think culture would push, what, you've been dating this one person? You've only dated 2 different people and you're already making a decision to marry this person? Oh, you need to be dating a lot of different people first. And we would just say, like, if you've only dated one person, but you're like, this is the one I want to marry, don't feel pressure from culture to say, no, I need to date a lot of people before I come back to you.
And finally, this point I find is quite interesting, because this is one I actually completely sort of agree with them on. It doesn't matter how many people you've dated, whether it's a lot or a little, don't feel any pressure from anyone else around you to say that it's too many or not enough. Like, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel about the person you're with at the time. That's what's important. Focus on that, and you're going to be sorted. Yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I hope this was okay. I hope this isn't too many videos again. Okay, introspective moment again. I'm at like a weird point where like I don't know how many videos to put out, because some people are like, okay, don't oversaturate stuff and you don't want to overwhelm people, and I'm like, no, I don't want people to be bored of me. Like, ugh. But on the other hand, other people are like, oh, well, I grew my channel so fast by doing a video every day, and you should do a video every day, and this and this. So I've tended to just, I've been making videos like when it works for me and when I get inspiration and when I like have the energy and I'm in the right headspace to make them and stuff. That's what I've been doing. But again, I don't know what's best, and I'm very confused and conflicted. I'm just having a big kind of self-doubting month where I'm just a bit of a mess, to be honest. I know a lot of you guys expect me to be this kind of like put together, knowing what I'm doing, confident kind of person, but I'm not. I'm winging this completely, and I've no idea what to do. I don't know. I'm struggling a bit. I mean, you guys might know about this if you saw my live stream the other night. I got kind of like emotional at the end, and yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I don't want to get like all down and bleh. Anyway, oh, what's wrong with me? Anyway, thank you for watching today. I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Hopefully, if you're new here, you would like to subscribe and stick around. I would really appreciate that. And if you're not, then maybe it would be great if you could like send a little bit of support and tell me how you think I can like improve my videos and the channel and everything like that. If you want to help me by supporting my channel, I have a merch store, I have Patreon, I have like a PayPal link down below. If you want to help me by just like sharing around the videos and stuff like that, I really appreciate that. That would really, really help. Yeah. But for now, I'm gonna stop talking, and yeah, see you guys again soon, I hope. Huge thank you to everyone supporting me on Patreon this month, with a special thank you going to Data Jack, Trae Sprowles, Gambit and Chauffeur, Liv's Pantyhose Addiction, Mark Dauner, Christian Berg, Nathalie Romer, Simon Lundh, Jadeon Sheppard, Robert Korte, Peter Kyrouac, Sir Michael Moore, Christina the Atheist, Sage Villarreal and Loren Hart. You guys and everyone supporting me on Patreon are absolutely amazing, and I couldn't do this without you, so thank you so much. And remember, if you are supporting me on Patreon, you can get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can come join in the conversation. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there. And thank you all so much.